So you just gave me the framework of being able to transfer the information so people can really, really get it, and most people miss that because leaders are leaders, alpha males, alpha females, and a lot of times people get to where they need to get to because they have a skill set. But some people don't realize in this journey, it's a little bit different from most other things. And we found a way to really, really master the steps that can get you running, up and running. So thank you for sharing that, brother. Yeah, who you passing that ball to?
Should have been working on that. Um, I might need a little help. I didn't kind of lost everything. Okay,
You
yeah,
want
I'm
me to
back.
pass it for you?
Yeah, go ahead and pass it for me.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, I'm going to pass the ball to somebody that I have tremendous amount of respect for. When I tell you she is going to be a superstar in this business, um, she's actually in her momentum phase right now. She's getting some momentum. She's talking to some folks. She's putting in some deals. And I want to give it up to none other than, I hope she can come off of mute this morning, none other than Miss Renee Graves. Are you able to come off of mute this morning?
Hi, Jack. Hi, team.
Hey,
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Just want to share my money making activity. I'm actually getting ready for a 10 o'clock appointment. And
okay.
yeah, and what's really great about is it is a referral from my hairdresser.
See?
So I had a hairdresser. We were talking about financial fitness because that's how I I like structured my company. Um, and she was really interested and she said, I have two other people who also are interested. So she is the one that wants the big policy that we're still working on.
Okay.
But her other referral went through and I need to put that in. And then this one I have at 10 o'clock today. So I'm really excited. I feel like, yeah, I did try to do my own thing a little, but I went back to the process because it really does work. And so I even am scheduling with Denton a new it's going to be probably an open house on a
Okay.
on so every quarter that's what I'd like to do like a VGO with
Mhm.
specific type of audience and kind of specifically um, gear the lecture a little bit to what they're doing.
I love it.
So
Love it.
that
Love it.
so thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, yes, yes. And who are you? We're gonna do two
One
more
more.
passes. Who you passing that ball to?
Let me see. Are there any hands up?
Nope, not at the moment.
So I am
Oh,
going to
yes.
pass.
Yes, somebody just raised their hand. Mr. Lacole Kai just raised his hand.
So I would like to pass the ball to a gentleman who always has really good inspiration and nuggets and a way to approach this business. So without any further ado, Lacole, there you go.
Yes, good morning, Renee. Thank you so much for passing the ball to me. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate every one of you for being on this morning. What a great news. Everything's going well. And I looking forward to see a lot of you for the first time in 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 Canada for this convention. I want to just talk about this convention. Convention has always been my passion. And even yesterday, I was pushing some more people to go to the convention. And I know that this convention is going to change everybody's life. One thing that you're going to see at this convention is that you're going to see some people that look so tall on the Zoom, they're not going to look as that tall, okay? So you're going to see a lot of.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I was like, what? This person, used to wear this tall when I used to be on the Zoom, but that's a great thing. It's just like a preacher. A preacher said that For those who are Christian, that when we get to heaven, you're going to be surprised. You're going to see people that you thought were not going to make it there. And you're gonna look around and you see some people that you thought were gonna make it, but they didn't make it. So the convention is gonna not only that you're gonna see people and see different people, but you're gonna hear things that are gonna change your life. And just like Jimmy was saying yesterday, there are so many new things coming up in this period, and I always want to be at the first time of the information. I don't like to be pass down the information to a second-hand, third-hand information. I want to be there. And let me tell you why convention is very important to me. Because you're going to sacrifice some money, you're going to sacrifice some precious time. And I always say that whatever you sacrifice for, you value it. Right? I love when people give me something, when people give me gifts. I love it, but anything that I sacrifice and spend my money on, I always value it a lot. So you're going to value because you're going to spend some time, take time away from your family, from your job. Some of you are going to having problem trying to apply for vacation time. You finally get it and you make it there. But I'm going to tell you that one thing that you're going to also see when you get there is you're going to wish I brought this person with me. I wish I have pushed this person a little bit more to come there. Because it's going to be like, wow, I wish I have brought this person to hear what I'm hearing now, to feel the momentum, to feel the environment. So let's continue to push for the convention because that's what I'm doing right now. Today, I have a doctor, a former team member, a medical doctor that's coming to the office because I'm inviting him to come to the office. He couldn't come last Saturday, but he's coming today because I want him to come and see the environment. And I'm going to push for that convention because I know how that convention changed my life and it's going to change your life. So if you're not planning to go yet, please start planning to be there. It's July 16, 17, and 18. Try to arrive there on the 15th, get settled so they can be relaxed. But I'm telling you, whatever, any amount of money, penny, time you put in, you're going to worth it. All right. So thank you for allowing me to share that. Do I still pass the ball to somebody, Mr. Jack?
I'm gonna let you bring up the next gentleman. I'm sitting in for Mr. Eric Robinson, so I'm gonna let you do the introduction because I'll take the rest of the I'll take the top of the hour.
Wow, that is a privilege. Once in the blue moon, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure. I want to introduce to you Mr. Jack Vaughn. This man, I respect him, and somebody that I met for the first time last year in Canada also. And you see the inspiration, the momentum, the desire to help. You hearing him telling Tiwana, anytime you are ready for that, let me know. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to be on the call with you. So, ladies, we are blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed to have such a man here with us this morning, and he's going to pour into us whatever he have to share with us today. So, keep your ear open, have a notebook and a pen, and without further ado, help me welcome Mr. Jack Vaughn.
Woo! Thank you, Mr. Elijah Pye. I appreciate the great introduction, and I want to give it back to you, sir, because you come on here and you pour into us as well. And I'm just so glad that I got to meet you and be able to connect with your village, our village and your village. Now we got a bigger village. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everything you and your village bring to the table, all the inspiration. So yes. And I can't wait to see you again in Canada next month. What's coming up fast on us, isn't it? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you said something, Nicole, that's huge. When you get to these events, you wish that you could have more people at the event. Every event that I've ever gone to, I just wish I had a few more people, or a lot more people, actually. But when you get there, you really start to think, you're like, dang, I should have made this phone call, or I should have called these folks, or I should have just tried a little harder to promote. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a attempt to pick up where Eric left off, because the message is, you know, you hear a lot of times people talk about recruits, right? And sometimes people that aren't wired just yet or aren't experiencing success in recruiting, they think is a bad thing. But here's the beauty, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna drift a little bit, but I'm gonna come back. The beauty is Xperia has two tracks, thanks to our executive or my executive director, Mr. Eric Robinson. He bought. So if you're not into recruiting and you still have a chance to make a nice living by your own pen. And so what happens is if you decide you want to take the producer's track, that's fine. What we're just telling people is if you want to build a big business, and we talked about it last night, recruiting is like we talked about it last night. I'm gonna ask the same question for some of the people that weren't there. And because Rodney actually spoke on it, if you go through the proper steps, what are some? If you all remember, if you're getting trained properly, type in the chat. What are the first 4 steps in our 120 agency plan? Because if you don't know the first 4 steps, you need to probably get with your executive director or your recruiter and put those steps in motion. So I'm gonna see if people no, you know what? Come off of mute then. And what's the first step? When you recruit somebody, what's the first step?
Onboarding.
Onboarding. Onboarding. And what are the steps in onboarding? See, this is
okay, I'm sorry.
So this is the courageous conversation that we gotta have. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So what I've seen Ashley do, and it's really, really, she does it really well. After she does the green sheet, she actually, if they check the box that they want to make more income, she invites them and sends them an AOA. And then, so I think the first thing in recruiting, if you're doing a green sheet and anyone says they want to make more income, you send them AOA invite and have them look over it. But before they sign it and all that, you meet the executive director, and all that kind of stuff.
Not to cut you off, Renee.
Okay.
But I'm talking about once you sign that AOA.
Oh, once you signed it. Okay.
What are the, and they don't even have to be in the exact order in this conversation, but I need to know if everybody knows what the steps are, because I'm trying to tell you, if you don't know what the steps are, you're not gonna be successful. And I'm gonna tie this all in. So when you when you first bring a person on, whether they're licensed or unlicensed, what's the first step, the first thing that you want to do? I need somebody to come off of mute that knows.
Introduce them to their ED.
Boom. First thing you do is introduce them to your ED. You know why? Because you're going to edify. Now here's a nugget. If you're not good at edifying, work with your recruiter on edification, because you're going to edify your ED. Then guess what your ED is going to do? Come on, y'all.
Edify you.
They're going to edify you back. So y'all there's power in edification. So if somebody is new to your team and they introduce you to the ED, that ED is going to, whether you're brand new or you're seasoned, the whole thing is to make that new recruit know and feel comfortable that they're in good hands, that they're going to be taken care of. Every time I bring a new person on, I edify them. They meet Eric, they meet Relly, and they meet Myron and Tasso within the first couple of days. So that's the first part. then what's the second thing that needs to be done?
Schedule the VGO.
Boom. Schedule the VGO. This is another part that people miss. And there's two reasons you want to schedule the VGO. Here, I'm trying to tell you, if you're taking notes, here's a nugget. You want to schedule that VGO because one, you want to attempt to get that new recruit, your new business partner, some momentum. But does anybody know the other reason for scheduling the VGO right away with your new business partner? Because y'all know how you're driving in your car and indicator lights come on? You know how you might have a brake light or windshield washer fluid is low, or your oil is low, or tire pressure is low. Well, you want to know if the person that you're dealing with is coachable or not. That's a nugget.
I was just getting ready to say.
What'd you say, Steve?
I was just getting ready to say that.
Yes.
Are they good for your team?
Yes.
Do they are they a good listener?
Yes.
Are they motivated?
Yes.
Or are they just wasting your time?
Yes, because see, you just said something, Stephen. And I tell people all the time, schedule your VGO. Guess what? If they don't schedule the VGO, we're not going to the next steps. Because now you got people want to play in the back office and they want to go get all the information, and they want to read the brochure, and they want to get ready, but they don't want to follow the instructions of the playbook. So the VGO is to attempt to gain momentum from the new person, and it's going to give you the indicators to see if the people or the person is coachable. Because guess what? If they don't schedule a VGO, what should you do as a recruiter or a leader? You got to leave them right there until they can. Here's another thing. Or you can let the people find their way or attempt to find their way, but you always keep the door open so if they get lost and they circle back, then they can recalibrate and get inside the process that Rodney talked about earlier. So now, after scheduling the VGO, what's the next step? And I know for this is like Lacole's team may have a little bit of a different process, but for the USAX team, what's the next step after the VGO, after you set the VGO up?
Exam effects.
Well, you're gonna make sure that if that person is unlicensed, that's really the first thing that you want them to do. But after that, you're gonna
a green
make
sheet.
sure green sheet. You
schedule field of training.
No, you first get them to do their personal green sheet appointment, because there's two reasons for scheduling the first green sheet appointment for themselves. We talked about it last night on the team huddle. What's the reason to set up the green sheet appointment?
To make sure they're covered and their family.
That's one reason. To make sure that they can potentially become a client, but also
so they can
to make sure that they're filling out the green sheet properly. Because I've seen a lot of people, they can't even get past the green sheet for whatever reason. They can't get past the green sheet. I've got people right now that have been in business for 2 months and have not filled out the green sheet. So guess what I do? I say, guess what? I would tell them as the leader, let them stay there until they fill out the green sheet properly. Because what happens is people come in and try to put you on their program, and they haven't experienced any success in this program. So you want them to fill out the green sheet so they can see how all of the moving parts work, because after they fill the green sheet out, guess what happens next? They're going to set up their own personal green sheet appointment. This is what it goes back to what Cynthia said. You now are in your first field training appointment, and it's the new recruit's field training appointment, and that's where you see all the moving parts work. I see so many people that they turn into information specialists and want to get all the information from the couriers. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, those couriers, they're so technical that they're training and teaching you over most people's heads. In our green sheet appointments, you're going to see how all the moving parts work. You're going to see how you approach clients. You're going to see how you overcome objections, because at that particular point, you're actually a client, right? So now, after your green sheet appointment, or the new recruit's green sheet appointment, what's the next thing that you do?
Making your list.
Bam! Stephen Short, brother, high five through the screen. Boom. And why should you set the appointments and start working the list? Come on, y'all.
Field trainings.
Field trainings. So now, let me paint the picture for you. People say, man, I don't have any clients. I don't have nobody to talk to. The green sheet and the 120 agency plan, that system, most people don't get this. It's a lead generating system. Let's say that all together. Say it in your head, write it down, type it in the chat. The green sheet system is a lead generating system. We got our own built-in lead system, and most people totally miss that. So, Takesha, coming at you right now in 1 second. If one person recruits 10 people, and some people know this answer from last night, and in our system, we say make a list of at least 25 people, and we try to sometimes push to get that list up to 100 people in time. But if you work the list in our 120 agency plan system, how many appointments will you get if you got 10 recruits?
100.
100. Jimmy Martin said yesterday, he said, you know what? If you want to be great, make 100 appointments. He said it could take you a year. It could take you a month. It could take you 6 months. But if you put in your brain, I want 100 appointments, guess what? Go recruit 10 people. You can recruit 10 people in 2 months, 1 month. It might take you 6 months. But the purpose, if they go through, goes back to what Rodney said earlier, if you take them through the proper steps, that could lead to 100, with 10 recruits, that should be 100 appointments. Takesha Carr, your hand was up. I'm sorry.
No problem. Great masterclass this morning. I just want to say that if we're following 120 agency plan, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 step guide.
Yes.
I mean, it's impossible to get lost if you're following the process.
Yes.
So if you go to 120 agency plan and you plug them into the system, when they deviate from the system, leave them in the freaking system.
Yes. Don't
Not
micromanage. Don't micromanage people. Let the system manage the people in the process. I'm sorry, Takesha.
I mean, and that's literally it. Just like the system manager. When they deviate from the system, it lets you know, one, I have someone that either has not done what they're supposed to do, or they're not following the direction. So I can tell when my team is not doing the 120 agency plan, because they come back and ask me the questions that are answered in the 120 agency plan.
Yes.
So when you come to me and you say, how do I get registered for Xperts? I know you did not do what I asked you to do. So when we're going through the 120 agency plan, there's a step 1, 2, 3. And when we get to the onboarding guide tells you everything that needs to happen. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. So when we've gone through this, and I give you the assignment to go back and work your list and give me all this stuff, and you haven't done it, I know that because you come and ask the questions that we've already covered.
And it gets frustrating, you know what I mean? And because it becomes, have you ever heard the term upline abuse, it becomes literally like abuse to your upline because you're coming back asking them the same questions that has already been exposed that you didn't follow the first couple of steps. And Rodney said it best. After you get through the fourth step, if you've gone through the proper steps, by the time you get to step 5, you're now running. You're now in motion. And I've seen some people go through the 120 agency plan in 2 weeks and start running in 2 weeks. Prime example, Miss Siobhan Bowman. Prime example, Miss Takesha Carr. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of other leaders that do it as well. But I'm trying to tell you, if you go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, once you get past your list of 10, most people are now running at that point. But I see so many people avoid the setting up the VGO. And guess what? Y'all wear your recruits out. I'm trying to tell you, wear them out. They might not tell you that. So I'm urging everybody, if you recruit somebody, put them in the process. Let the process manage their situation so you can be freed up to work with the folks who are following instructions and that want to get to the place they need to get to with a seamless process. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do let's do the recap, see what you got out of this morning. Anybody want to take the floor? We're going to do a Annie Willie recap, and then we're going to go to money. Your hand is up, sir.
What this got me thinking on, man, it's something when I was in the car business. A guy told me one time, he said, you can learn everything about the car, how many bolts in the engine, how many screws on the back end, but if you don't know the system, you can't even sell nothing because you just how you say you just educated, you just a textbook that but can't sell.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to know the system so you get everything so you can have a proper guide. Because in the car business, we used to have 10 questions we used to ask off the top, the same questions,
Yep.
the same 10
questions every time.
Same questions. Bam, 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 bam. What did they tell you? What you looking for? How can I help you? I'm just looking for. Okay, what you looking for?
Yep.
Okay, well, you send me this. Okay, I can give you some information. You want to follow me over here? That's my next thing. Can you follow me? Can you follow me over here? Okay, and you start guiding them, even though they inadvertently they don't know that you're guiding them.
Yes.
And you're taking full control because they think they take control. I'm going over here. No problem. I want you to go to the truck right over here. You want to say truck? Okay, I'll show you right over here, sir. And then you start asking your questions.
Yeah, it makes the process a lot easier for guess what? The person selling and the potential buyer. It makes the process just that much easier. Thank you for sharing.
I say what another thing? How they say? Because when you're a good person, you're good at your selling, they don't even know that you sold them something. They just start leaving you with something. They just left with something. You're like, God, take it, they'll sold me and got all the money from them. That's what you say about one thing. You say, I'm gonna get all the money from them.
and guess what? It makes, and this is big, people miss this, it makes the experience a lot better. When you create a good experience, and that's why this system is in place. So it can create a good, successful experience. It's proven, it works. I'm trying to tell you, we got something special. So Marcella, the floor is yours.
Hey, good morning. Yes, just like y'all say, I love this system now. Sometimes it's my computer that's doing the glitches that I do have to call and say, hey, is this what's going on or whatever? But and just like you said about the upline, that's what I love about this company. It's like no one is never out of reach. If you can't reach somebody, you can always, touch base with somebody else. But that 120 agency plan, it is just simply amazing. And I've had some people that, just like y'all say, is It's just like they get there and they say they want it, and then when you're reaching out trying to get them set up for everything, it's like boom.
Yeah, yeah. And like we talked about yesterday, now we got to think, and this is something that Eric put out yesterday. Andre, I'm coming to you in a second. You can't. No, I'm not gonna say you can't, but a lot of times the people that we approach people that we wanted more than they wanted for themselves. And that's why this process is so important. You put them in the process. If the person don't want it, guess what? If they don't go through the process, they not wasting your time, and let them waste their own time, because it's like wrestling with an alligator when you just gotta, especially when you're talking to somebody. When we tell them to go through the 120 agency plan, we're telling them to take notes along the way too. So if they're not following the process, it's a simple thing that you could do with anybody. All you got to ask them is, where are you in the process? Oh, I still got to do my green sheet. Okay. Well, once you get that green sheet filled out, come back and talk to me. Like I said, I got people that are stuck at the green sheet, stuck at the VGO, but I'm not going to go further down the line and talk about quoting tools and IUL illustrations and all that if you haven't even set up your VGO or done your green sheet. So thank you for sharing, Marcella. Andre West.
Yeah, great training this morning. I just want to recap just a couple of things on there and then ask a real quick question at the end. Actually, I'll ask the question right now so someone can be looking for the answer. The link to the 120 agency plan has changed. It's technically different looking. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to find all those resources that were there. The latest and greatest copies of for example, the that onboarding sheet, it's not there. So it makes it a little bit harder to find. So just looking for that link, and if someone can throw that in, that'd be great. But as a recap, introducing, number one, introduce to the ED. And I love why. It's for edification from you to the ED and then back to you. That is,
yes,
it's huge. Schedule the VGO, see if they're coachable, gains momentum for them as well. Do their own personal green sheet. We generate the leads right there. By the time we finish with the green sheet, we got about 4, 5, 6, 10 people for them to see. Then we get to making a list. We already got 10 people started, and we get up to that 25. Keep in mind 100. That's a number. That's a number to remember, and then do your field training.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Lacole Elijah Pop, and then we'll do the reader recap unless somebody else has it.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. That is a great masterclass. That's what I always call back to the basics, right? Because there's something you mentioned earlier. If I'm going to be teaching you mathematics and you don't know how to do the plus, minus sign, we not go into the others level, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so if this the basic, and I really appreciate when I click on the 120, you are the 120 agency plan right now, and I see a lot of stuff. Let me tell you, every one of you that is on this team, on the Jack, Eric's team, you guys have so much resources. We don't have that. Let me tell you, we don't have that. Sometimes you are in your father's house or your parents' house, and you think that, oh, my parents don't have enough, until you go out somewhere and you see that, wow, oh, we have more than them, right? So you guys have a lot of resources here. That's a great resource. The one thing I want to talk about is the green sheet, because the green sheet, there's something we call it joint ownership. When you join the business, you own the product, and then before you share it with somebody. Don't come to me and tell me this vitamin is good for you and it's not good for me, because I'm going to ask you, did the doctor say you shouldn't take it? The product you're selling to me, did the doctor say you shouldn't have it? So you should have it. And how do you know it? You know how to do the application, how to do the I go by when you do it yourself. I always said, start a demo plan. You can put anybody's name on that green sheet. If you don't want your name to be on it, You can put anybody's name. I hope I'm not contradicting your strategy, but at least do it first so that you can go out there. Because like you said, there's something called recruiters abuse, right?
Yes.
Or offline abuse.
Upline abuse. Yes.
Exactly, online abuse. Online abuse, the thing that they are telling you to do, you are not doing it. When we are calling for training and for meeting, you are not coming. You are not participating in all these things, but then you call me tomorrow and ask me the same thing. It's like you pulling me back. I have gone for 4 miles, and now you are
Yes.
pulling me back to start all over again with you. But when we were there doing it yesterday, we understand sometimes you'll be at work, you'll be at a workplace, something might happen at home. But where the information is, go out there and get it yourself and look at it and practice it, and then
Yes.
come back. And if you're asking me a question on how do I do it, but not coming back to ask me, where is this thing? Because you never go in there to even look at it in the first place. That's part of the owning your own business. When the day you own your own business, you take ownership, you start looking for resources. And finally, like I always say, anything that you discover on your own will stick with you more than when somebody just share with you.
I
You go
love
to the
it.
back office and you discover something, you've tried it by yourself, you find the solution, it sticks stronger with you than when you just learn it from somebody. So thank
Yes.
you, Jack, this morning. That's a great training. Back to you.
Thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate that. And Dr. Teresa.
Uh, Great pointers, everyone. Just wanted to chime in a little bit with doing the green sheet for yourself. What I tell people is, let me show you how we help families. When you sit and I show you how we help families, that's learning firsthand. So when you're able to now do your field training, you're observing and seeing what's being done. So now you have an idea how we help families, because that's what our business is about.
Yep.
So if you're learning the information, everything, and you're not practically, or you don't understand how we help families after educating them, then there's a serious link there. So it's showing you how we help families. When you
Yes.
sit and you do your green sheet and I show you how we help families, which
Yes.
would lead to you owning the product for yourself,
Yes.
is affordable.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. And thank you, everybody, for your recaps. Now we're going to go to Miss Downtown Rita Brown.
All right. Craft, frame your approach. When recruiting, always mention the culture, exterior culture, and our USX team culture. Don't forget the legacy plan. Anyone that you do business with is an opportunity for you to talk to them. People become informational specialists, scared to get from behind the information. Just do it. Attending in-person events have a magical effect. Keep close to the fire. It's hard for us to follow instructions. We want to do our own thing. Follow the steps. The success is the journey. Whatever you sacrifice, you value it. Going to the convention, you sacrifice time and money. It will be worth it. Some people think recruiting is a bad thing. If you do, Xperia has 2 tracks, producer track and the builders track. The first 4 steps of onboarding a recruit. Number 1, introduce to the ED. Edify your ED and your ED will edify you back. There is power in edification. Make the new recruit feel comfortable and in good hands. Number 2, schedule your VGO. It gives your new business partner momentum and it tells you whether they are coachable or not. Number 3, personal green sheet appointment. Make sure that they fill out the green sheet properly and it's their first field training appointment. And also they can get proper coverage for themselves. Number 4, make a list and set appointments for field trainings. Stop the upline abuse. The green sheet system is a lead generating system. If you want to be great, make 100 appointments, regardless of how long it takes. If you follow the 120 agency plan, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 step. Let the system manage the new recruits. Once you pass the 4 steps, you should be running and successful in your business.
Woo, man. Thank you, Downtown Rita Brown, for that wonderful recap. And you know what? We didn't even record this morning. But I hope everybody took some good notes. Rita, I know I can come to you for those notes. But y'all go out and just do it. Like Dynasty said earlier, just go do it. Just do it. Everybody on here has the information, has the skill set. Just now is just time to do it. And Susan, if you're still on, let us know if you need any help with talking to that agency owner. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, everybody have a great rest of your day on purpose. Get to the convention, get your tickets, do what's needed and necessary to get there. You will not be sorry. So with that being said,
Don't forget the launch today for agility. The training.
Oh yeah, it's at what, 1:30?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
At 1:30, sir.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's a new product coming out. So definitely want to get on that at 1:30. So everybody have a great day on purpose. Love each and every one of y'all.
Thank you. Have a good day,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a good day, everybody.
Day.
Back at you.
Have a great day, Andre. I just text you.
Love to all.